What's good, Jetsetters? Let's talk about Fat Joe warning artists to watch their money. Now, this article comes out of hiphopdx.com, so shout out to them. Now, the headline reads, Fat Joe warns artists to watch their money after being scammed by accountants. Now, this interview comes by way of the Breakfast Club, so shout out to them for always giving great interviews over the years. Shout out to Fat Joe for telling his truth. Now, it says here, Fat Joe has opened up about a complex Ponzi scheme run by his former accountants that robbed him and his wife of well over 6 figures. Wow. See, yeah, these Ponzi schemes, see, we got to watch out for this out here. See, this is not just rappers. This is how they get rappers and athletes, and this is how they get a lot of people who are not financially literate. See, that's why it's so important to be financially literate before you even really step into the limelight, in my opinion, right? Because people are out there looking to take advantage of you. When big money comes, here comes the fake accountants and the fake gurus ready to put you on to some new scheme to make triple the profit, quadruple the profit, whatever. And they're taking all your money, right? I'll tell you a quick gem right away while I start. Don't ever give nobody power of attorney. Boom, right there, right away. Don't give nobody power of attorney. That means they can sign your name. They can hire and fire people in your name. They can sign checks in your name, making all kinds of dirty investments. Don't ever give nobody power of attorney, right? Unless it's absolutely necessary. You know everything that's going on. Don't ever give nobody power of attorney. That's like the number one way they get people. I was watching an interview with Eddie Curry. He said that's how they got him. Power of attorney. The accountant, he said he was working with an accountant. His accountant like made some bad investments or something. Or basically they set him up with like this investment scheme, took all his bread. It was some terrible stuff. So yeah, right off the bat, y'all, I'm giving y'all a quick gem. Power of attorney. Watch out for that for all within all your contracts. Watch out for power of attorney. Another one, watch out for perpetuity. Right? That means forever. Like Andre 3000 said, forever, forever, ever. That's all that means. See, they like to put these big words in contracts that they know a lot of people don't know. They know a lot of people aren't as financially literate yet. So they like to put these big words in contracts that just mean basic things like perpetuity, forever, right? They could just say, we're going to own this forever. They say, oh no, it's going to be in perpetuity and blah, 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 to confuse you, right? That's how they throw people off. And unfortunately, a lot of these accountants and managers out here, they paid off. A lot of the lawyers too are paid off, especially in the music business, y'all, because another gem for y'all. When y'all go, if y'all do sign a label deal early on, which I don't agree with, I agree that you should build your leverage first. But if you do end up in a situation where a label is looking to sign you, whether that's a major label or independent label, make sure you get you a lawyer that's not associated with that company. See, this is a big trick a lot of labels do. They be like, oh, you need a lawyer? You don't know what that means? Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about lawyer fees. We got a standby lawyer on file. See, we'll call a lawyer. I know a guy or a girl that'll do this for you right now. They'll be a lawyer and you think you got a mail. Okay, I got me a lawyer. No, they're associated with them. They're all golfing buddies. So you got to understand how this game works. You got to get an outside lawyer. And number one, you got to know a lot of the game yourself, right? Read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's a big one. And read All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald Passman. Those are 2 huge books that get you financially literate in both life and just business, and also in the music business. You read those 2 books right there. You learn those 2 books by the back of your hand. Most of this stuff ain't gonna get you. Now, this is what Fat Joe had to say officially on the Breakfast Club. He say, us as creatives, we spend so much time. We trying to take our creativity to another level. And we think we supposed to trust these people. Every athlete, every artist, don't trust them. Don't trust the business manager. Don't trust the accountants. The saddest thing is when you turn around and, yo, these people stealing from me. Ponzi scheme, like, this is not a game. These people really stealing my money, taking out fake credit cards under my wife's name. Man, shout out to Fat Joe for telling his truth. Like he said, taking out fake credit cards under his wife's name. That's exactly what I'm talking about, y'all. What he probably didn't mention, which I could be wrong, but what probably happened in this situation was, again, like I said, power of attorney. Do not give nobody power of attorney. That's when they're able to actually do that legally. When you give somebody power of attorney, they can take out credit cards, they can make investments, they can fire people, right? They can cash checks in your name when they have power of attorney. Don't give that away. And I think that's what happened in this situation. And another thing he mentioned was business managers. Don't trust them. Now, a term I learned in the book, All You Need to Know About the Music Business, is errors and omissions insurance. So if you do end up getting a business manager one day, make sure you get errors and omissions insurance. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just something I picked up. This is a little gem I wanted to drop off with y'all. Errors and omissions insurance. Basically what this do is, so a business manager going to make investments, right? Let's say they make some bad investments. It's insurance getting you your money back, basically. If you don't have that type of insurance, they can just take your money, invest it, lose all your bread. So you want to make sure you at least have errors and omissions insurance. And again, like I said, you really don't even want to be in that situation, right? You don't even really want to have accountants and stuff until you become a big artist, right? And then you can, like Biggie said, I got lawyers watching lawyers so I don't go broke. But Biggie had to beg to have lawyers watching lawyers so he won't go broke. When you just starting off in the game, you just need to know a lot of this stuff yourself. And you really just need to build your own leverage independently so you can go to these companies and customize your contract the way you want to, right? See, a lot of these new artists get in over their head, you know. A lot of artists, I'm going to say it like this, a lot of people will get offended, but a lot of artists don't need to sign no record deal. For real, not early. They don't really need it. It's really messing up their career more than they realize. They're better off independently, especially if they had a little buzz. Are you kidding me? If you got a little buzz, you can take that a long way today. Just a little bit of buzz. I mean, you got people with no buzz, like I said, one week, and then the next week, their whole life changed because of the power of the internet and the speed. Like, you can build a whole business, generational wealth by yourself. You don't need these people anymore. So a lot of these people, unfortunately, I would say the majority of them are really out there just to take advantage of you. That's the sad truth. We see that a lot with these athletes, right? And I don't know how things is in the athlete world, but I hear some horror stories over there as well. These young kids, you know, they're getting these big contracts. They don't know nothing about financial literacy. And, you know, to not deflect, but what's the word? You know, to take it off track a little bit, because I got to kind of bring it back around to my main point. A lot of these young athletes, they're not being taught in school this stuff. See, they don't teach you this kind of stuff in school. They don't teach you real financial literacy. They don't teach you rich dad, poor dad philosophy. They don't teach you assets and liability. They teach you a lot of stuff that you're never going to use in life. So imagine a young athlete or a young rapper coming straight out of high school, fresh out of college, or their first year in college, going pro to the league or getting a record deal. You know, just somebody young who don't really know this stuff. They're not going to know anything about financial literacy. They're not going to know about perpetuity, power of attorney, errors and omission insurance. They're not going to know none of this stuff. Right? So imagine a young Fat Joe back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s. He didn't know none of this stuff. So again, a lot of these people are out here looking to take advantage. So watch your back and learn this information. Now, these are some of the other things Fat Joe had to say. He said the best way to protect yourself against accountant scams is to go the Oprah one-on-one route, which is basically to watch all your money. He's quoted saying this. He said, "Since I caught this, I've been signing my own checks, confirming my own wires, and doing everything." Wow, that's powerful. Shout out to Fat Joe, because that's basically what I'm trying to get y'all in the mindset of. You got to start looking at a lot of things yourself, really. Before you can trust anybody else, you got to know the things on a basic level before you can look at somebody else and be like, oh, this person's thorough or they're not thorough. See, when you don't even know things on a basic level, you're not going to know who's who and who's doing what. So Fat Joe is taking ownership now, and he's doing a lot of things himself. So that's powerful. Now, what else he had to say is this. He say, we was paying with my credit card hundreds of thousands of dollars to baseball players. It's a Ponzi scheme. We was paying other people's credit cards, 100,000, 80,000 for baseball players I never met in my life. Then we got payments on my credit card that baseball players were paying. Nah, it was incredible. I've never been robbed by a man with a gun. I've been robbed by men and ladies with suits on that smile at me all the time. Wow. And if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. Like he said, I've never been robbed by a man with a gun. I've been robbed by men and ladies with suits on that smile at me all the time. Man, that reminds me of a clip I have of 50 Cent that says, the most ruthless people are in the business world and not in the street. Y'all should check out that clip. I also did a content analysis on that as well. Check that out. The most ruthless people are in the business world and not in the street. See, that's what a lot of y'all need to understand. Y'all think, oh, the most ruthless, the toughest people, most grimiest people is the people wearing, the messed up clothes, in bad neighborhoods. Nah, man, the most ruthless people is the ones wearing them suit and ties, because they got the power, I should say, with the stroke of a pen to change your entire life, to mess up your entire life, or even change your entire life for the better. Who knows? But you're never going to know unless you learn this kind of stuff. So again, back to our original point, build your leverage, learn this knowledge yourself before you start trusting other people. Don't trust these labels. Don't trust these managers. Learn what's going on first. Then as you build your leverage, then you can get other people involved. I'm going to say it like this, plain and simple. Listen, if you ain't bringing in at least 6 figures, don't even think about getting a manager. Don't think about that, because for what? You can do it all yourself. Like, just pick up a book, start reading, start studying, and you'll know most of everything yourself. Independently, you can make that. You don't need all this extra stuff, right? So don't even give people a chunk of your money. See, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to get a manager that's going to change my career. In most cases, it's not. In most cases, a lot of these managers just going to take from you, right? And I know in cases on the manager side, it's a lot of artists that don't really do the work either. But again, like I'm saying, you ain't making at least 6 figures. Don't even think about it yet, because it's like, for what? Don't even put yourself in that position. Because like I said in the previous video, right, they like to get these artists and stuff early when you don't know nothing, that they see have a lot of talent, a lot of potential. They like to get you in the worst contracts possible, because when you actually live out that talent and you actually get to that next level, when you reach your peak or your prime, that's when they can get the most money out of you. And at that point, and you figure out what kind of deal you in, you're like, yo, I'm in a 360, I'm in this, I'm that, and folks is owning stuff in perpetuity, and by that point, it's too late. So again, learn this stuff yourself and build leverage yourself independently. I mentioned some of the books to get you right. Now I'm going to give you some of the tools to get you right in your career, especially as an independent artist. Right now I'm on Fiverr.com and I'm writing hooks, verses, and full songs. We can collab. I can co-write for you. Anything you need, I got you. The link to my service will be down below in the description and in my bio as well. Now, if you make content along with your music, which I encourage you to strongly do, like seriously, you need to get vidIQ. That's right, vidIQ. They have helped my channel grow tremendously. I'm at almost 20K in less than a year. They'll help you get your titles right, your tags, all that stuff. So again, it's vidIQ. The link to that service will be down below in my description and in my bio as well. Now that's all I really wanted to leave y'all with today. All right, peace.